Father, I want to be direct with you today about what has been happening in my mind, because the worry has reached a level that I can no longer dismiss as occasional or manageable. And the honest truth is that it has been stealing from me in ways that I am only beginning to fully recognize. It has been stealing my sleep, arriving before I am fully awake in the morning, with a fresh inventory of everything that could go wrong. It has been stealing my presence, my ability to be genuinely here in the moments that are happening right in front of me, because a significant portion of my attention is perpetually allocated to scenarios that have not happened yet and may never happen at all. It has been stealing my confidence, replacing the clarity and the settled assurance I want to operate from with a low-level, persistent hum of dread that makes every upcoming decision feel heavier than it needs to be, and every uncertainty feel more threatening than it actually is. And it has been stealing my rest, the deep, genuine, soul-level rest that is not simply the absence of activity, but the presence of a peace that holds even when circumstances are unresolved. I am tired of losing these things to something that, when I am honest about it, I know does not change outcomes and serves no constructive purpose. Today, Father, I am stopping. Stop worrying now. That is not just a title. It is a decision I am making in this prayer, with your help, starting right here. I want to confess something that I think is at the root of my worry, because naming it honestly feels like the necessary first step toward actually addressing it. I have been operating more than I realized from the assumption that the outcomes of the things I care most about are in some meaningful way dependent on my ability to think about them enough, manage them carefully enough, and anticipate their potential failure points thoroughly enough to prevent bad things from happening. That assumption is the engine of my worry, and it is built on a fundamental misunderstanding of how much actual control I have, and of who is ultimately holding the things I care about. When I worry as much as I have been worrying, I am not being responsible. I am being self-reliant in a way that excludes you, treating the future as something I need to manage, rather than something you are already governing. Tonight, I am naming that and repenting of it, not with guilt, but with a clear-eyed intention to stop doing it, and to replace it with something truer and healthier, and more aligned with what I actually believe about you. I am laying every specific worry before you tonight. Not in a vague, general surrender, but in a specific, named release of the actual things that have been consuming my mental energy. The future situation that feels uncertain and threatening. The relationship that I am afraid is more fragile than it appears. The financial reality that does not currently add up the way I need it to. The health concern I have been turning over in my mind more than I have been speaking it out loud. The career uncertainty that has me questioning whether I am on the right path and whether the path is going to hold. Every one of these specific worries, I am placing them into your hands right now, deliberately and completely. And I am asking you to hold them in a way that releases me from the compulsive need to keep picking them back up and examining them for the 1,000th time. Teach me to trust your plan in the specific, practical moments when worry tries to reassert itself, not just in the composed moments of prayer, but in the 3 a.m. moments when fear is loudest, in the moments when a triggering piece of information sends my mind racing toward worst-case scenarios, and in the long stretches of waiting when nothing visible seems to be happening, and doubt has the most room to operate. Give me a trust that is not dependent on understanding, that does not require me to see how things are going to work out before I am willing to release my grip on them. Help me to develop the particular spiritual muscle that releases things to you, not because I have run out of ways to worry about them, but because I have made the genuine choice to believe that you are more capable of handling them than my worried attention will ever be. Give me a deep rest today, Father, the kind that is rooted in genuine confidence rather than in the temporary relief of distraction. I do not want to feel better simply because I have found something else to think about. I want to feel better because something has actually shifted in how I relate to the uncertain and unresolved parts of my life, because I have genuinely transferred the weight of them to you, rather than merely pausing my engagement with them for a few hours. Let the rest I receive today be the kind that comes from a trust that has actually taken hold, a rest that holds up when the worrying thought returns, that does not evaporate the first time circumstances remind me that things are still unresolved, and that is available to me not just in the quiet moments, but in the middle of the most demanding hours of the day. Fill me with a confidence that is grounded in your character rather than in my circumstances. Because my circumstances are subject to change, and my confidence cannot afford to be built on something that unstable. Build in me the specific, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing, at a level below reasoning and argument, that the God who holds my future is good, is capable, is personally invested in what happens to me, and has never once failed the people who entrusted themselves to his care. Let that confidence operate in me today as the primary lens through which I interpret everything I face, replacing the anxious scanning for threats with the settled assurance that what is coming toward me is coming through the hands of a God who can be trusted with every part of it. Calm my heart and quiet my mind in the most practical, immediate, here and now sense, because the worry is not just a future orientation, it is a present physical and mental state that is affecting how I function right now in this moment. Slow the racing, release the tightness. Let your peace move through me the way warmth moves through a cold room, gradually, completely, until the chill of anxiety no longer defines the interior atmosphere. And let that peace be durable enough to last beyond this prayer, to carry through the hour after I stop praying, and the day that follows, and the days beyond that, becoming over time not the exception to how I feel, but the new normal. Thank you for being in control of everything that my worry has been pretending to manage. Thank you for a plan that is not derailed by my inability to see it clearly, and not diminished by my failure to trust it consistently. Thank you for the patience you have extended through every season of my anxious self-reliance, and for the grace that receives this prayer, again, without weariness or frustration. Stop worrying now. I am choosing that today, Father, not as a final victory over anxiety, but as a genuine daily moment-by-moment decision to trust your plan over my fear, your wisdom over my worry, and your sufficient, proven, endlessly reliable care over every uncertain thing my future holds. Amen.